Hi, this is Suzanne from SL Crafts, and today I've got another upcycling tutorial for you where I should be showing you how I created this handbag out of this gift bag. Now I've had this gift bag for a long time, so I don't know if it's still available. I know it came from Tesco, and this is the label that I peeled off of it, so you can just see the information there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just to remove these ribbons. So I'm going to save those ribbons for later. So next I need to open the top out. Just be careful doing this to make sure it doesn't tear. So these two bits of cardboard, they've fallen out, so they were holding the ribbon in place. So I should keep those as well, just in case I need them. Okay, so this is the back of the bag. See where it's got that crease there? So I need to work on the front. I'm just going to measure it. It's about 19 centimetres. So I don't want it square, I want it kind of longer at the bottom. So I'm going to measure up about 16 centimetres, and then I'm going to allow another 1.5 centimetres just to overlap the top. So I'm going to measure that around all four sides. I'm going to join those lines up. So for the front, it's easier if you flatten the bag out first. And then do the same on the two sides. Okay, so I've just found the tab, so where the bag was put together. I'm just going to carefully pull that apart. This is going to help me to get my scissors in to be able to cut along those lines. Okay, so now my bag looks like this. So this part here is going to be the front fastening, but because I've got these holes here, I've gone ahead and I've drawn where I want to cut. So I'm just going to cut along those lines. Okay, so now you can see how it's starting to fit together. So next I need to start concentrating on neatening up those edges, those top edges. So what I've done is I've marked 1.5 centimetre down. So this is going to be my overlap. So I've cut down those two lines. I've already gone ahead and done this side, so that's really neatened it up. So before I do this side, I just need to cut that piece of tab off. I've already cut down those corners, just 1.5 centimetres. So now I'm going to take my metal ruler and I'm going to line it up just at the bottom edge there. And I'm going to fold that side bit down, just folding it against the ruler. Making sure that the fold is nice and neat, nice and straight. Just using my bone folder just to make that crease. And then turning it over to the inside. Again, creasing it, making sure it's nice and flat. And then that's going to hold its shape. So I'm just going to repeat that with the front and with the two back pieces. Okay, now that that's all pressed down, that's looking a lot neater. Now to keep those pieces in place, I'm just going to use some red liner tape. So I've already done the back too and the sides. Just give it a good press down with a bone folder. Okay, so that piece will go over the front like that, but I kind of want my bag to be more angled. I don't want it to be straight. So I'm just going to measure in about 1.5 centimetres in. I'm going to do that both sides on the front and on the back. I'm just going to use my metal ruler again, just to fold it against. But I want to do this from the inside, so make sure that the corner of the ruler matches up with the corner of the bag there. Hold it in place and then fold that bag against the ruler all the way down to the corner. And do the same on all 4 corners. And to keep those folds in place, I just need to crease it with my bone folder. Okay, so I think that's given it a much better shape. So now I need to think about the handles. So these are the pieces that I've got left over. I think I'm going to use this long piece here. Now I need to have a tab sort of on both ends of the handle. So I'm just going to join these 2 pieces up, just using some red liner tape. Just making sure that it's lined up, and then give it a good press down. So now I've got this length to work with. So I'm going to cut that whole piece out. Now I've got the holes there, so I need to make sure I cut that piece off. Okay, so that's how it now looks. So this measures about 5 centimetres. So what I want to do is cut it in half to make 2 handles. Okay, so these are going to go on the front and the back, like this. So I just need to see how much space I've got. So these measure about 2.5 centimetres wide. So I'm going to make the tab about 3 centimetres in. So I need to mark that on both sides. So next I need to fold the handles in half. So what I'm going to do is use my scoring board. I'm just going to line it up just so that I can get the middle there. So I'm going to go down that 8 line, just between those 2 lines that I've marked. Can you see that? Okay, and now I'm going to fold that in half, just pinching it in the middle, just up to those pencil lines. Now I'm going to give that a good press down with my bone folder, just to give it a nice crease. Again, just up to those pencil lines. Now I'm going to use some red liner tape to hold it together. So again, just making sure I don't go past that pencil line. So this just needs to be pressed down. And I'm just going to curve it with my bone folder, just to give it a nice handle shape. And here's the other one I've already done. Okay, so to attach them to the bag, just need to work out the positioning. Probably easier to do this from the back. So it's going to have about that much showing. So I'm going to use some red liner tape. Okay, so now I've got all my tape on. These end pieces just need to be pinched and flattened slightly, just so that it's going to make it easier to fit to the bag. So I want to position it so that it's about that much showing from the inside and fairly close to the closure bit there. So I don't really want it to touch it. Then for the other side of the handle, I need to make sure that it's got the same distance from the outside edge. Make sure that it's centered. Then I'll do exactly the same with the front one, making sure that it's all lined up evenly with the back one. So I'm just going to bend the handles back slightly. This will just stop them overlapping when the bag's put together. Okay, so for the closure part, I just want to curve the edges just slightly. So I've gone ahead and I've drawn a curve there. I'm just going to cut that out. Then for the other side, I'm going to take this piece that I've already cut out, I'm going to flip it over and use this as a template. So I think that's given it a much nicer shape. Okay, so next I'm going to try and make a rosette for the front. So I've got this piece left over. I'm going to measure 2 centimetres in, so that'll avoid those 2 holes there. So this measures now about 19.5 centimetres. So on my scoring board, I'm going to score down every 0.5 centimetre all the way along to the end. And then I'm going to start folding it backwards and forwards like a concertina. And then I'm going to use some red liner tape just to join the 2 ends together. Now comes the tricky part. So just make sure all of those folds are going the right way. And then very carefully you need to start pushing it all together into the middle. And it should fold flat like this. Then using another piece of leftover card, I've cut out 2 small circles. So I've just used my red liner tape as a template there. I've put some tape onto one of the circles. I need to try and get this piece to lie flat on top of the taped piece. Make sure to press it down so that it holds its shape. Oh, didn't quite get it in the middle, but it's okay. And I'm just going to use some strong all-purpose glue just to stick the other circle to the front. So you could use a hot glue gun for this as well. And there's the rosette finished. So I just neatened up the back there. So now I need to decide where that's going to go on the front of the bag. But before I put that on, I'm going to take one of these hook and loop fastenings. So these are self-adhesive ones. I'm going to put it just underneath there. That should be about right. And then make sure that that's all going to be lined up. So make sure it's all in the centre. And then press it down. Then very carefully, I've got to lift that back up again. And then give both of those pieces a good press down. There, that's looking good. So now I can glue the rosette on. Now that that's dry, what I've done is just neatened up that curve, so make it match the curve of the rosette. Now all I've got left is the two ribbons that I took off of the gift bag. So these were the handles. Now because they were knotted at both ends, what I've done is quickly pass them through my hair straighteners. So that's straightened them all out. I think I'm going to just tie them to the handle. So I'll put both of them together. I'm just going to tie them just in a knot, in a loose knot. Just onto the front one there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now to finish it off, I just want to neaten up that circle in the middle there. So I'm going to take another piece of leftover card and my die cutting machine. And I'm going to use one of my small circles and just cut that out. Yeah, I think that's going to look much better. So I've also found this small button, which I'm going to put in the middle there. So I first need to mark the centre and then make a hole. Then I'm going to make a hole in this piece. Make sure that fits. Yep. Then I'm just going to use some all-purpose glue, or you could use a hot glue gun, just to keep that all in place. And there it is. So I've made a handbag gift bag out of just a normal gift bag. It's very roomy inside and it still folds flat. So I would love to know what you think of this upcycling project. Let me know in the comments below and I'll see you next time. Bye.